Pick your retirement focused on lifestyle first. Stay tuned. Welcome to this week's edition of Note School TV, where, well, every Wednesday at 11:05 Central Time, we bring you the most amazing guests, which we have an amazing lady today, and we also bring you the most amazing content. So thank you so much for being with us. Get you to do a few things for me here before we get started. Number one, make sure and like this episode. Yes. Make sure and hit that like button. Let everybody know that you not only like it, but you love it, right? Hit the subscribe button if you have not already done so. We are coming up on our 3-year anniversary, our 3-year anniversary here the first week in October. So we'll do something a little special for that. And finally, hit that bell notification so that you will always know when we are about to go live, every Wednesday at 11:05 Central Time. Also, please continue to send in your comments. They mean a lot to Eddie and I. We read them every week. So, we do appreciate you taking a minute and doing that. We love to hear your feedback. And finally, if you want to know more about what we do at Note School, simply go to noteschool.com/TV. Again, noteschool.com/TV. And we would love to have a conversation with you. And we'd love to get you into one of our 2-hour master classes. So more about that at the end of the show. So now I want to bring in our fearless leader, chief visionary officer, founder of Note School, my friend, Mr. W. Eddie Speed.
Good morning, Joe.
Good morning. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood, man.
It is. It is. We are... a lot of things are happening in the market. Sometimes, Joe, when you make a prediction, you don't know if you're going to turn out to be right.
Yeah.
Right? Otherwise, it wouldn't be a prediction.
That's right. It's the old saying, Eddie, that I love that you say that don't have a crystal ball, but I do have a rear view mirror. So, yeah.
So one of our news stories today are really leading us to one of the things that we're really paying attention to, and we do a lot of comparison in the market between what mortgage rates are and what people pay for mortgage rates.
Yes,
John Burns did an article, Joe, about 60 days ago, and we've talked about this a fair amount on the show, and certainly in Note School training, that people's mortgage payment on a starter home is $1,000 more than rent.
That's right.
And we've now had people realize, well, wait a minute, if their mortgage payment is much higher than rent, doesn't that mean that I could seller finance for more money?
That's right.
Than if I just rented?
That's it.
Oh, and by the way, when you seller finance, you don't have expenses, and when you rent, you do.
Well, yeah, it's a net situation versus a gross minus all the other expenses and headaches, right?
Exactly. All right. So market insiders.
Yeah. So the share So the share of folks that are paying more than $2,000 a month in rent, right, has tripled in just 2 years. And that's quite an amazing number.
Yeah, it really is. And so, we back before the virus, Joe, we would see, people's mortgage payments, and their mortgage payment would be, $800 or $1,200 or whatever. And now it's a rarity when we're doing a case study and we're talking about people's mortgage payment on a traditional mortgage,
right?
That their mortgage payment is less than $2,000. And so once again, I want to frame this up for you. There is a time for rentals, and there is a time that sometimes, maybe a good percentage of the time, that seller financing could be better than rentals. And so all you have to be is as good as the mortgage companies.
Right.
Now, sometimes people will seller finance. A lot of times real estate investors will seller finance and carry seller financing at even a higher interest rate than traditional mortgages. Right. That's not being unfair with people, because, if you can, if you don't qualify for a Fannie Mae loan, maybe you don't deserve a Fannie Mae rate.
That's right.
Right. Non-QM, which is about a third of all mortgage banking done today, non-QM mortgages are certainly not Fannie Mae rates.
They are not. And I mean, we're right with the APR. We're ticking even with a 750 credit plus 750 credit score. You're at about 7.89 today, with 20% down. So that's the whole premise by this. And why it really matters is that as it's more difficult and all of this stuff that we see, it just makes it harder for individuals that are the just missed, our penalty box buyers, right, to qualify conventionally, because it's tightened up the mortgage credit availability that we talk about all the time. It's just harder. So what we offer is that non-traditional way to get into a house and make it work.
All right. So just a couple of things here. In 2021, 18% of people had a mortgage payment that was $2,000 or more.
Nope. So in 2000, the figure, it was 18% of the folks only had a mortgage that was $2,000 a month or more. In July, according to Black Knight, it hit 51%. So that's where we get that number. So now 51% of the folks out there have a mortgage payment of more than $2,000 a month. And Eddie, 1 in 4, 25% have payments above $3,000 a month.
So if somebody's traditional mortgage payment is that high, what would it look like for you to seller finance your rental?
Yeah,
that's really the question. We're seeing more people seller financing their rentals, Joe, than I've seen in a long time,
right.
And that's a reason for that. The rents have flattened in most markets, not in every micro market, but in most markets, rents have declined. Nationally, they've declined, and we've had data on that. And you've seen a 30 to 50% increase in expenses.
Yes.
Right. And so that means that the rentals are netting less cash flow. And so now people are turning their eyes towards, what if I were the bank? Because we're seeing the result of traditional banks and what is customary in the market.
That's right.
Your seller finance mortgage payment, your customer's paying, you're only competing with the mortgage industry, and guess what? You might win.
Yeah, it's a whole lot simpler to do seller financing, and it's a whole lot less fees and cost to do non-traditional with seller financing. So Eddie, it's a great time for us. We would never talk about this as a challenge. It's a challenge only if you don't know what we know, right?
Well, we're pointing out what we think is the obvious,
right?
But what people tell us all the time, keep pointing it out because you're helping me see things that I don't traditionally think about. So that's what we're doing.
That's
all right, Joe.
Eddie, we've got a great guest today, so I'm going to let you get on with that. I'll see you guys at the end of the show. Have a great interview.
Sounds great. All right. Well, Joe's headline today was really make your retirement focused on lifestyle. Our guest today was very intentionally retired and very intentionally focused on her investment strategies in her retirement to fit what was the most important thing. And that was enjoying her retirement, and more particularly enjoying her family. You guys, welcome from San Angelo, Texas, my friend, Monica Masters.
Good morning.
Good morning from West Texas, huh? You said it rained out there.
Yes, it did. We had a great thunderstorm last night, so got about 2 to 3 inches of rain all around.
Oh, well, you're blessed. For those of you that don't know, they've been quite a drought out there, and so I'm so glad that God answered your prayers, and you got some rain. And this is
cooling off.
this is a good day to have a smile on, right?
Yes, it is.
Monica, I so respect you. I respect you because you have made some decisions in your life that I think, we always need to pay attention to. People don't know this. You were an executive with Verizon, and so you had a very good, impressive career. But then you had another chapter in your life, and that meant that you weren't going to go live in a big city.
Right. So I had spent 23 years, some of it in the Dallas area. And then the last 5 years of my career, I spent in the Tulsa area. So, just continuing with that career, I was ready. After 38 years, I was ready for something different.
All right. Now, you had been a real estate investor.
Yes, I started that in about 2009. So, of course, many remember the 2008 crash, and I lost about 20% in my 401k. So, while I thought I was diversified, I really wasn't. So, that's when I really got into real estate. And I started out with some rentals, went into fix and flips, and I even taught investors how to do wholesaling.
You did. I forgot about that.
Yes. Yeah.
So you were a veteran real estate investor. You weren't just a rookie.
No, I spent many years doing all three of those things. So.
All right. So that was kind of before you joined Note School.
Yes.
Right. And you're leading up to Note School. We have a mutual friend who had done some legal work for you, and has done a lot for us and Note School, our attorney friend, Jeff Watson.
Yes.
And so you're talking about this lifestyle change and where you're really looking. I want to kind of talk, like, what was the conversation that led you to maybe Notes were something to consider?
So when I was meeting with Jeff at a conference, and he goes, and I was telling him, I'm going to get to retire. I'm going to get to move back home. He goes, well, let's meet. And so when Jeff and I met, he wanted to talk to me about using my retirement funds to invest and how to invest. So I started out doing some private lending, and then kind of once I did that, he introduced me to note investing. And so that's when I got an email from Note School, and I attended that 3-day class. And that's when I knew, I thought, oh my gosh, this is what I've been looking for, something that I don't have to deal with, my rentals, doing the fix and flips, teaching other students. This was something more passive that I wanted to do, and that I knew that I could do that in San Angelo.
Your focus was being able to move back to a small town in West Texas where your family lived.
Yes.
Right? You live with your dad very intentionally.
Yes.
And you have other family out there, nieces and nephews, and you wanted to, that became your first. I love that, because so many people, Monica, are scared to make the decision for, I pick lifestyle first.
Right. So a lot of my friends that retired from Verizon, they all had to get a supplemental job. And that is definitely something I didn't want to do. I knew I wanted to come back home. I'd spent 23 years away from it. I wanted some quality time with my nieces and nephews. They're having their own children, and I wanted to be here for that. And I'm so fortunate. I mean, I got to keep my little nephew for 2 years, before he started going to daycare. That's something I was never able to do with the other kids. And then my dad, he's 87 years old now, and I knew that his health was just, gradually declining. And now we're living here at the lake. He lives with me, and now I get to spend every day with him in his declining years. And I think it's been beneficial for us both. It's just really lifted our spirits for us both to have this time together.
All right. So what you're describing now is you needed an investment strategy that was legitimately an investment strategy, not a job.
Exactly.
Right. You needed something to invest, and something that wasn't going to go suck emotionally the life out of you, or just suck the time out of you, period.
Exactly. And so while I was working, about 55 hours a week at Verizon, I was doing the fix and flips. I was managing the rentals. It is so much work, and it just put such a drain on me. I knew in retirement that's not what retirement for me was. Retirement was just enjoying it. And so I was looking for something that would allow me to do that, and notes was the ticket. And like everybody else, I wish I would have learned this years ago, but I'm glad it came along when it did.
All right. So you bought notes. Let's talk about that journey.
Okay, so I joined note school in June of 2019. So I went through the education, and then I bought my first note in January. I wanted to see how that process worked. I liked it. It was easy. So then I bought two more notes. And then before long, now I own about 20 notes in my portfolio. So
You're
to
the
me,
bank.
yeah, exactly. And I love seeing how I'm taking that investment and I just keep churning the money to buy more notes. As the income grows and builds up, then I can buy more notes.
Well, we've gotten to be friends. You've been in note school, the note school family, a good while now, and
Mhm.
you've been to a number of events, live events, many countless virtual events.
Yes.
And so we've gotten to know each other. And so I got the good fortune to know a little bit of your family story. But anytime we try to do an interview, we always try to look, behind the curtain, like what's unique
Yes.
about this story. And so the last part of your write up of how life is going,
Hmm.
I thought was really, really a good story. Tell us about that. What are you doing now with your family?
So I bought a camper van and a couple of years ago. So now I'm going on trips. We try to plan trips once a month. It's either with family or it's with some friends that I have that have their own RVs. So we're doing RVing, and again, I can do note investing while I'm doing all of these things. I'm also spending a lot of time with my nieces and nephews. I'm able to go to their ball games, and just like I mentioned earlier, I was able to keep my little nephew for 2 years before he went into daycare. I mean, those are just things that I was never able to do before because I lived far away, so I didn't get to participate in the family stuff. And again, just being here with Dad, it's just been a real blessing. He's 87, and it's just been a joy to spend this time with him.
Well, that's such a great story. I remember when you told me you bought the RV and stuff, and and as you know, there's quite a story with people in note school that have had RVs. So it's not, it's kind of, there's a whole little association of you guys over there that have RVs that have done note stuff, and I just think that's such a neat part of the story. So.
Well, and I was actually coming to a note school event when I found the RV there in Denton, Texas. So it just kind of timed just perfect. I flew up there and drove it back.
That is so awesome.
Yeah,
You got no problem driving it?
not at all. And actually went to Colorado with my family. A whole entire family got to go. Even Dad went with me.
Oh,
And so, yeah, we had a great 10-day trip in Colorado this year.
that's right. Well, that is such a great story. And I would say that I don't think, Monica, I don't think your story is that special, except for the fact it's not that special for note school because we have that story a lot within our family, right?
Right.
But it's special to people that don't know about it or don't know what's possible, because
Exactly.
we kind of live in a world somewhat of disbelief, that we think that we can't do this, that we can't make the life decisions we want to make because of, well, it's this, or I have to live here, or I have this situation and stuff. I can tell you that it's a fair statement to say note school is a pretty good home for burnout landlords.
Absolutely, it is. And for those who are fearing retirement and what you're going to do in that retirement, it is focus on that lifestyle, and then match your investment to that lifestyle. And really build it up that way. That I think that's what really advanced me forward. And really deciding what I wanted to do in retirement, and then I built my investing around that.
By the way, let me say one last thing about that.
Okay.
Monica is also a very smart note investor. She's been a good student. She's learned the lessons that she needed to learn. And she's a very smart note investor. So she's used that knowledge to good. And, but I respect you, Monica. I know that anytime you're on a deal lab with us now and you have questions, I better lean up because it's probably going to be a really good question.
Well, thank you. I enjoy note investing. I love the lifestyle that it's given me. You know, I just have the freedom, and I enjoy that. And I thank the Lord every day that I get up, that I'm not going to a job, that I'm just, you know, getting to enjoy my lake house, enjoy my family, and know that my investments are working behind me. And I love the strategy around the note investing and turning that money. And it just makes me happy.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Joe, we got to get you in on this.
Yes, I know, Monica. I want to come to the lake. I mean, you know, that lake, you keep talking about it, and it's just like,
yeah, come here, go catfishing. We have a lot of catfish.
that's amazing. So,
yeah.
Monica, you know, one of the things that you said, it kind of echoes what many of the note school, you know, folks say, and that is that whole reinvesting. And, you know, Eddie and I were doing Deal Lab yesterday, and that's what we were doing a class a while ago. And Eddie said it's the CRP, the capital recoupment plan, right?
Yes.
And it's just being able to, it's that leverage factor that the Federal Reserve allows banks to do.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, while I have money stuck in my traditional investments, and that's what I pull my monthly distribution from, I don't touch my notes because I love turning that money in there and watching that wealth grow there.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
And you've done a few non-performing loans now as well.
Yes,
so that's cool.
Absolutely. I've done actually one of them I just bought from Notes Direct, and then the other one is the Done For You program, and I definitely recommend the Done For You. It's a lot easier.
Well,
but I'm enjoying taking it to that level, you know, because I started out just performing, and now I'm taking it to the level of the non-performing.
Yeah. Well,
people figure out pretty quickly if the number one reason they do notes is they want their time back.
Yes.
You know, then sometimes the Done For You that we have for our long-term members, we can essentially, we're renting out our back office to do things for students that otherwise they'd have to go do. Right. And they really like that. So, all right, Joe, thank you. Monica, you were awesome. Congratulations on everything you've done.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you for Note School. I tell you what, it's changed my life.
Thank you.
We appreciate that. All right, let's wrap up the show real quick. Eddie, Monica, great interview. Monica, you are an inspiration to everyone out there, everyone in the Note School family, the Note School ecosystem, and all of the viewers today. Again, they love to hear your story. It's a great story. So with that, a couple of other things. Number one, if you would like to know more about what we do at Note School, again, go to noteschool.com/TV. And we'd love to have a conversation with you. And then also, if you would like to attend, we do a 2-hour masterclass. Eddie does that along with our Chief Market Officer, Mr. Max Keller. And, Eddie has made the price. He's inviting you as our guest. So 2-hour masterclass. Again, just go to noteschool.com/TV and say, I'm interested in attending a masterclass, and we will make that happen as well. And every note investor in the U.S., right, will be converging on Dallas, Texas. Let's see, November 3rd and 4th of this year for Note Expo. So we have about a minute and a half commercial here that we're going to play for you right now. So watch it, enjoy it, and it'll show you just exactly how you can learn more about Note Expo and how to be involved. So thanks so much. We'll see you same place, same time next Wednesday at 11:05 Central Time. Have a good week. We are at Note Expo.
It's amazing.
Phenomenal.
It's just fantastic.
It's like recharging my batteries. I get enthused again. I meet a lot of other people in the business. I get a lot of ideas.
Connections. I've made so many friends over the years of high-level investors, high-level business people.
You get out here and see people who are doing things on a level you're not there yet. So that inspires me.
It's been a great event. Lots of good people, lots of opportunities to network, lots of education, and the vendors are great.
Meeting all the people here from all over the country, wanting to know about notes.
And then the networking is just
All
crazy.
these people has just been stunning.
It's like coming home to a family, and it's a lot of smart people here, and everybody's welcome in. It's always good seeing familiar faces.
I'm sure it's going to empower me and lead to much better growth.
And there really is no other place you can go to figure out what's going on, like in the guts of the industry.
We're already
Registered, so
we have put our money down.